What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these glass Christmas presents. They're one of the easiest DIYs to do, and they are so cute under the Christmas tree. Anyways, let's get to it. Let's start this DIY, and hopefully it's something you can incorporate under your Christmas tree this year. I started off by heading to my local Habitat for Humanity, and I grabbed one of these glass blocks. You can buy these from a hardware store, but you have to get a bulk pack, and if you're only looking for one, I would check out Marketplace. Now, to be able to get your fairy lights inside your glass box, you're going to need a drill bit that's meant for glass. So we picked up one of those. It was only about like $3. Then you're going to start drilling a hole in the glass. I would recommend doing this outside just so you're not getting glass dust all over your house. It does take a bit of effort to get the hole in the glass block, but just be patient, use a consistent pressure, and it's going to go through eventually. Now that we have the hole drilled into the glass block, we are going to paint it. So I wanted mine to look like there was snow on it. So I just took some acrylic paint and then cut up a sponge and made it super rough so that I didn't get a perfect blotch of paint every time. And then you're just dabbing the paint all around your block. And you might have noticed that the edges of your block already kind of look like they have paint. I'm assuming this is some sort of adhesive for when people are stacking these bricks. I didn't bother taking mine off because it just looks like the white paint anyways. And you don't want to create extra work for yourself. It looks like paint, so just leave it. Now it's time for ribbon, and this is how you're going to make it look like a real present under the tree. So right now I'm cutting 2 pieces of ribbon, and this is going to be the crisscross on your present. I didn't do an exact measurement. I just eyeballed the cut, and then now I'm testing it to make sure that it actually wraps around my present how I want it to. Before gluing any ribbon on, you want to make sure the hole where your fairy lights are going to go in is closest to the ground. This part isn't really required. It doesn't need to be at the bottom. I just thought it looked a lot nicer having all the fairy lights inside the block and you're not seeing any of them come outside because the battery pack is going to sit right there by the hole. Now that I have my pieces cut to size, I'm just glue gunning these in place. This is where you can get really creative with the ribbon you choose because you can really do any kind of ribbon. You can give it more character. I'm just doing a plain red because the other one I have under my tree is already a little different. It's gold and has sparkles on it, so I'm just going for a classic look here. Now we're going to create a bow for the top of our present. So you're going to need 3 feet of ribbon to do this. Once you have 3 feet of ribbon, you're going to put it in your left hand, and then you're holding it and putting it over your thumb and then twisting it and taking it over your pointer finger. Then again, you're twisting it and going over your thumb. And instead of going over your pointer finger, you're taking that ribbon through the middle and putting it through the hole right there and pulling it all the way through. Once the ribbon is all the way through, you are going to do this one more time. So you're going to go back under and pull it up through that hole again. Now the piece that you just pulled through, that is going to go through the loop of that ribbon you just created. So you're kind of folding it and then you're putting that end through those loops you did and pulling it out the other side. Once you have pulled it through, your bow is complete, and then you're going to take it off your fingers and you're just going to make adjustments until you like the way your bow looks. So I played around with it quite a bit before I got it where I wanted it. So I'm just trying to tighten the different loops throughout and make the loops a little puffier. Once you're happy with how your bow looks, then you are going to cut the ribbon tails to length, and then you're going to cut them at an angle as well. And then after you've cut that, I took a lighter and just burned the edges so that nothing was falling apart at the end of my bow. Now that we have our bow, we are going to glue gun that to the top of our present. So I'm just putting a ton of glue in the middle of our crisscross there, and then putting the bow on top. I wanted my ribbon ends to go to each corner of my gift, so I decided to put glue under each side of the ribbon. So I did it at one corner, and then I also did it at the other side as well. Now comes the exciting part where we put our little fairy lights inside. So this part is really simple. You're just putting all the fairy lights in that hole there until the battery pack is right there. We are almost at the end of this DIY, so if you love this project, make sure you hit subscribe to my page. I'm always posting new DIYs and I love sharing with you guys. And here's the final look of our glowing gift. Look how beautiful she is. I think it's such a fun DIY DIY and a way to add more lights and color to your Christmas tree this season. Here's another look at the other glowing gift I have under our Christmas tree. This would be a great DIY to do with kids or a girls' night. Thanks so much for tuning in, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next DIY.